Mercury retrograde is coming up soon, and you need to get prepared. This video is here to help you find ways to not only survive, but also thrive during this Mercury retrograde season, which will be happening during the holidays. I'm Gable Collings, and I'm all about making astrology practical and easy to understand. So let's dive right in. Mercury retrograde is what astrologers call it when Mercury appears to be moving backwards through the sky, and this happens for about 4 weeks at a time every 3 months or so. Mercury is the planet that's associated with our day-to-day lives. So, whenever you are commuting to work, whenever you're talking to another person, whenever you're checking a social media app or purchasing something from a store, all of those are ways that you interact with the energy of Mercury. Mercury is also about how we think, speak, and listen. So you can see how it's just a really fundamental part of our daily lives. And when a planet is retrograde, its normal patterns are disrupted, and it also turns the attention inwards. So, if you found this video, I'm assuming you know a little bit about Mercury retrograde, and you've probably heard some pretty horrible things about it. Like your ex might come back, your car might break down, you might lose your job or something like that. Your computer might blow up because everything just goes wrong during Mercury retrograde. But I can assure you that is not true, and at least it doesn't have to be. Mercury retrograde can flip the script on how you go about your daily life, which of course is going to be disruptive, but it's an opportunity for you to learn something new about yourself and to bring more attention and mindfulness to your daily life. I'm about to share with you some key dates for this Mercury retrograde period. So you might want to pause the video to grab a pen and some paper or to pull up your digital calendar so you can take some notes. So this next Mercury retrograde period will last from November 11th to November 30th. And for the beginning of that retrograde period, Mercury is going to be moving through Sagittarius, where it inspires you to break free from limiting beliefs. And then on November 20th, Mercury is going to move back into Scorpio, where it offers support in releasing and expressing repressed emotions and in healing from trauma. If you want to know which areas of your life this Mercury retrograde period will activate for you personally, you can take a look at your birth chart and look for the houses that include the early degrees of Sagittarius or the late degrees of Scorpio. Those are the areas of your life that are going to be activated throughout November by this Mercury retrograde energy. Or, if that all just went completely over your head, stick around for the end of this video. On November 13th, retrograde Mercury is going to be conjunct Mars, which is going to be a day that you're really going to want to think before you speak, especially if you tend to be overly reactive or brutally honest on a good day. You're going to want to make a concerted effort to express your anger in healthier and more constructive ways. Or at the very least, just take a breath before you respond, even if it's just responding to a comment on your post on social media. Every Mercury retrograde period includes a day when the Sun will be conjunct retrograde Mercury. And this is the best day of the retrograde period to get things done, to travel, to catch up on work, but also to receive important insights, whether that's just through downloads, through ideas, through dreams. Take note of whatever comes up for you because this can be a powerful day for receiving really valuable insight and guidance. And this day, this Sun-Mercury conjunction for this retrograde period will happen on November 21st. So definitely take note of that day. And if you plan to travel for Thanksgiving, you might want to plan those travel days as close to the 21st as possible, because that is going to help that travel go a little bit more smoothly. But either way, if you're traveling at all during the month of November, expect delays. You need to plan for delays, for traffic being longer than you thought it would be, for missing your flight, for getting stuck somewhere because it suddenly snowed even though that wasn't on the weather forecast at all. You need to pack for more days than you think you'll be gone, and pack things that you don't think you'll need because you might be stuck there longer than you think. While we're talking about travel, Mercury retrograde is a really good time to get basic maintenance done on your car and to give it a nice deep clean. So if you've been putting off doing either or both of those, now is your time to finally do it. And because things tend to change so quickly during Mercury retrograde and they're not always as they seem, it's really important that you don't make any major decisions during the Mercury retrograde period. So specifically, don't start new jobs if you can avoid it, don't sign new contracts if you can avoid it, and definitely do not be making huge decisions about your relationships, like whether to stay or go. Just observe what's happening right now, observe what opportunities are being presented to you, observe what you're feeling motivated to pursue, observe what problems are coming up between you and the other person, and wait until December when Mercury is no longer retrograde to make your final decision. Mercury is also very closely associated with electronics. So I cannot emphasize this enough. It is really, really important to keep your electronic devices backed up throughout the Mercury retrograde period. At the beginning, at the end, and every day that you can for the entire month of the Mercury retrograde period, be backing up your devices. Back up your computer so that just in case anything goes wrong, you have that data saved and you can just go back to it if you need it. Mercury is also very closely linked to social media and the internet in general, which is such a major contributor to distractions that are probably distorting your thoughts in ways you haven't even noticed. But this time, Mercury retrograde is your regular invitation to, on purpose, spend less time on your screens. Spend more time away from your phone and see what changes. A very easy way that you can get started with this is just go onto your phone, into your settings, and check your current screen time. Take a look at what it's been looking like over the past week or so. Get a sense of how much time you're actually spending on your phone. It's probably more than you think. And during Mercury retrograde, make a concerted effort to take that screen time, that daily or weekly screen time, down by just an hour or two and see how you feel. You might be tempted to pick up your phone and start scrolling as a way to escape from an unpleasant family gathering or to unwind after a particularly stressful day. But we both know that scrolling on social media only leaves you feeling more dysregulated and overwhelmed. So instead of picking up the phone and starting to scroll, you can take just 5 minutes for yourself. We've been taught that self-care has to be an hour-long yoga practice or a candlelit bubble bath, and those things are lovely if you can get them, but they are rarely practical, and at the very least, they're hard to come by. Self-care is very simple, a lot simpler than you've been told. Self-care is really important during Mercury retrograde. Putting your mental health first is the main lesson of Mercury retrograde. And that can be as simple as just taking a breath, just closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and noticing how you're feeling in your body in this moment. Putting yourself first can really be as simple as relaxing your shoulders away from your ears when you're in a meeting or at work. It can really be as simple as when you're walking to your car, slowing down and noticing how the air feels on your skin. And if you're watching this from the northern hemisphere, it's probably going to be freezing cold, but notice what that feels like to have the freezing cold air on your skin. How does that feel? Tap into that physical sensation. Slow down, let yourself enjoy it even. It can even be as simple as choosing not to rush your morning cup of coffee or cup of tea. Instead, treat it with respect, with reverence. Taste the flavors inside your cup. Feel the warmth of your mug against your hands. Experience the sensations in each of your five senses when you eat or when you have a drink. Self-care can really be as simple as that. And I really want to emphasize that taking time for yourself can be harder during the holidays. I totally get that, but it doesn't make it any less important. The holidays shouldn't be a time of rushing and obligations. They should feel cozy and slow and enjoyable, and they should be focused on connection and joy. And if you can opt for slower, more intimate holiday activities with the people that you love, I highly recommend that you prioritize that. But if that's not possible for you this year for any reason, I just want you to know that you absolutely deserve to fully enjoy the festivities for once, because there is a certain magic to this season, and you deserve to enjoy it. Mercury retrograde can actually be a wonderful opportunity to reflect, slow down, and reconnect with yourself. It will be easier for you the less you hurry and distract yourself, and the more you stay present and mindful and intentional. That's what Mercury retrograde is here to remind you, that you don't have to keep up with the frantic pace of hustle culture. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to just stop everything and take a breath. And if you want to learn more about how this Mercury retrograde period is going to affect you personally, we can explore that together in a one-on-one birth chart reading. I am offering birth chart readings for November right now, where we'll take a look at your birth chart together and see which houses Mercury retrograde is going to move through, which represent the areas of life and the general themes that this Mercury retrograde period is going to highlight for you. We can also take a look at which personal transits you have coming up, which can also determine what this month of November might bring up for you and what opportunities are available for you. And then another thing that we will definitely explore is the personalized self-care strategies that are going to be the most effective for you. And that's all dependent on your fourth house, which represents the foundation of your life and your ability to restore and recharge your energetic batteries even when life is super crazy. And that is such a valuable skill to have, especially right now when the world is so chaotic and scary. So if you want to learn more about what it might be like to work together, you can check out the description box below this video, where I have the link to book a reading with me and also the link to my Instagram account, where you'll learn a lot more about what I do and hopefully be able to determine if we are a good fit to work together. I'm Gable Collings, and I hope that you have an absolutely magical holiday season. And I also hope that you have a peaceful Mercury retrograde period that serves as a path back home to yourself.